Okay, we're going to start things off with the Voriki parts pack and seeing how they compare to actual LEGO Bionicle pieces. The Bionicle pieces that were officially released will be on the right, and the custom parts will be on the left throughout this part of the video. To start things off, we'll take a look at the mask compared to the real counterpart, and you can see how they kind of came up with the design. So it is almost the same kind of purple from what I'm seeing. It is a softer material because it's a 3D printed plastic, so it's not going to be as hard or as smooth as the other one. This one has a few little ridges here and there, but still feels pretty good. Here it is as a side comparison between the two. You can see how the original photo kind of warped the face of this mask to make it look more unique. And here it is from the back. So they still captured it pretty well in the 3D model of the leak based on the mask. It's getting confusing, isn't it? But I think it looks pretty good. I think they did a pretty good job between these two. Now moving on to the staff piece, while it is almost entirely a unique photoshopped model, it is based on Tahu's flame piece, which most of the one of the images was actually based on one of his poses, so I'm going to use that for a point of comparison. You can see that between the bases of them, they are exactly the same, and then it's the element on top that was changed. I think that's actually a clever idea, even though I feel like if LEGO did actually produce this as a figure based around electricity or energy, it probably would have had a longer design, much like Tahu's sword piece. But I still appreciate the idea that went behind it. And once again, this is still a pretty good fair plastic. It holds out pretty well compared to the real deal. And you can see the side here from the bottom. And even if I put the two next to each other like this, yeah, seems pretty fair. So next we'll move on to the Mata hand piece, which in this one is articulated and has two pieces to attach to it. And over here we have the Throwbots or Slicers version of it. Yes, it was produced in purple, but only for a previous wave. It was not used in Bionicle in this color. But you can see how it looks between the two of them, how this one has a lot more holes to it, so it's easier to remove, and they look pretty close as far as the size goes. You can tell there is a color difference between them. I'm not really sure if there is anything closer in 3D printing, but this works fine for me personally. And you can also tell that, yes, there is obviously a difference on the top of them because one is supposed to be articulated where the other one is stationary. So here's how it'll look when we actually fit the fingers onto it. Yes, this is supposed to be a hand. I know a lot of people thought of it as a blaster, and previously it kind of had that implication in Throwbots, Slicers, and Robo Riders. But now here is how they look with the two put together. So I do like that the hands are actually pretty close and matching to the 3-length axle pieces in Technic, and even when they're put side by side, they look pretty fair. Actually works very well. And you can see here how the hands can be a little bit articulated, along the fingers, a little bit in each direction, which gives a little more expression. Up next, we have the articulated Mata foot, which is right now on a sprue, so we do have to separate these two parts. That's just how they are packaged. And it's a very small connection right in the middle there. The idea is that you would fit this, I believe, am I missing a piece to this? Oh, don't. Oh, now I know. This should actually connect right here in the middle. The idea is that you would fit a bar piece through the bottom of here so you can actually have it hinge back and forth. And I don't know if there's actually another piece that goes in the middle there, but for now, I'm just going to keep it as its flat shape, like that. And here is a comparison to the real LEGO piece, which you can see that piston in the middle there. I'll try to flatten the two so we can get it a little closer resembling. But it does capture the shape very well. And again, almost the same as far as like all the points on it. It's even got the right gap in the middle. So it's a pretty good fitting alternate foot. And for point of reference, it was not produced officially in purple in Bionicle or Technic, as far as I know. Next, we have the articulated Mata Hand 2, which comes in 3 different pieces that you can simply put together. So this will attach onto here in one of 2 ways, I think. I don't know if it matters which side it goes on, or if it's supposed to click into place. It's a little hard to see here. Oh, there's like a ball joint in the middle, so okay, that kind of creates a point of friction. There we go. And we should have a way of connecting this onto here. If I'm looking back at the original model, I could probably get the idea. So it kind of can sit in place like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe that's it. So you could actually move the arm up a little bit more or down a little bit more if you needed to. And then here it is next to the real-life component, which was made in black and was used in several Bionicle sets in the early days. And actually, even later, I think I remember it from one of the sets in 2007 like that. So you can see how they're, again, pretty close in terms of shape and cover just about everything they need to. Now I do have the hand piece put on an angle technically. It is not a facing forward axle hole, but that's also a benefit of this, I guess, is that you can actually twirl it a bit for another point of articulating. Up next we have the Toa Mata leg piece, and keep in mind that these are ordered from 2 different purchases. They are not in the same package as you saw in the beginning, so you will have to keep that in mind if you want to order them. Make sure you get both pieces to make the whole assembly. So we have the Shapeways one on the left, where you can see most of the cutouts for the pistons from the one on the right. This one has been made in several different sets in black, and is not too hard to get a hold of. But this does offer another point of articulation for the knees. Or if you use this as an arm piece, it could be an elbow technically, because sometimes these are used for arms as well. But yeah, it did take out the points on there, so you can actually move them up and down. If you actually had something in here, it would be more solid, like this one. But again, still captures a lot of the same look as the original piece, so not bad on there. I will definitely do a little bit of testing with like the holes and things to see if they attach, but probably not going to do too much since it's not for the purpose of what I'm trying to build. And last but not least, we have the Toa Mata torso in purple. This is articulated and it comes as 2 separate pieces. You will have to go to 2 different purchases for this. Keep that in mind, just like the other parts. So it simply attaches in the middle like that, and it gives you another point of articulation around the waist, so you could get a lot of different angles with that. Also, we have a few differences to this, outside of that for the design purposes, compared to the official one. The official one was never made in purple, so I have the brown one here as a point. If you did want to make this figure officially only in purest parts, I would say probably go with black as the next closest thing, because that's part of the color scheme. But you can see here, there are some differences within the torso gearbox area, where you'd actually sit all of the gears. And a little more claustrophobic, I would say, but probably more for structural purposes to hold it together. But it does have the right shape and the right size to it. It seems like it has the same axle holes and points along the front and back. So that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. So there we have the comparison of all the pieces compared to their LEGO counterparts. I have to say, these are pretty well done in terms of capturing the same look as the real deal. They have a lot of different little greebles and details inside of each piece that are very well done compared to the LEGO version of them. I will say they don't have the right shine, but that's also because they're a different kind of plastic. The way that they're produced as 3D printed parts is not going to be the same as ABS plastic used by LEGO and many other companies. So they are going to appear softer, maybe a little bit off in the purple color. The lighting here isn't helping as well because it looks very purple, or very light purple here, but it's not. It should be the same as some of the other ones back there. They are very close in terms of the color, but you can definitely tell, like, just by texture, there is a difference between the two pieces. But I think they'll serve me very well as I try to recreate the legend of Voriki.